What's going on, guys? So we got a little bit of Berserk news today. Not a whole lot, but I figured it was enough to comment on. So the first thing I want to bring your attention to is the volume cover for Volume 42. Now, Volume 42 does not release until September 29th in Japan. So if anybody is in the West looking to get this volume, it probably won't release until about a year later. So we're pretty far out from getting this over here in America, or if you're in the West at all. But if you live in Japan, you only got a few weeks. The cover art first came out, and this is significant for a few reasons because, number one, this is the first Berserk volume that features all the chapters that are done by Studio Gaga and not Kentaro Miura. So volume 41 was the final Miura volume. I will grab it. Okay, so this was the last volume that goes up to the final chapter that was specifically worked on by Kentaro Miura, although Studio Gaga did do the cover art, I believe, for this volume too. So I know some people are saying this is the first cover art that Studio Gaga did. I believe that that is actually for volume 41. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm like 90% certain that this is the first Studio Gaga cover. But nonetheless, this is going to be the first volume for the chapters that they have done with Koji Mori kind of at the helm, leading the story, and then Studio Gaga, creating the art and creating the panels and everything, kind of telling the story, which has mixed feelings by a lot of Berserk fans out there. So if you want the Kentaro Miura era, it ends at volume 41, and then this is beginning the new era taken over by Koji Mori to finish the story at the request of Kentaro Miura and what he would have wanted upon his passing. So I've been enjoying the new Berserk chapters. We haven't gotten one in a while, but that's not actually that weird. Remember, we were spoiled last year. Very rarely do we get 7 chapters in a year. So, I think people saw that and they took that and they were like, oh my God, we're getting so much Berserk. It's going to stay like this forever. No, the true passion of being a Berserk fan is the struggle of waiting in between chapters. That's what it means. It's a meta reference to the story itself about struggling and enduring and going through pain and longing and how long a journey takes to complete. It wants you to live the Berserk experience in real life. And that is why there's so much hiatus. No, actually, it's probably because there's like a lot of work to do on it. However, a couple things I want to mention. All right, so first thing, let's just talk about the cover art itself. The one thing that stands out is this is extremely colorful. Like very, very, very colorful, very bright. It might look different on the actual manga volume when it comes out, but right now it's very, very bright. The artwork itself I love, and obviously it's very reminiscent from all the things that are happening within this volume because we have Guts there with the sword ready to throw down with Griffith. We have Griffith taking away Casca in the corner. Puck there, kind of similar to when he's realizing what's happening on Elfhelm and everything being destroyed. And of course, the Beast of Darkness with an interesting purple color scheme, which you've never seen. I think the Beast of Darkness has only been on one volume cover. I want to say 23. I could be wrong. But it's always been depicted as dark, as black as black can be. So this is the first time we've seen it kind of in purple. But I also think it's an interesting color scheme because when you see the color photos of Elfhelm, the Elf Island and the spirit tree made of like the cherry blossoms and stuff, there is a very like pink, there is a very purple kind of very bright aesthetic to it. And since this volume is covering the destruction of Elfhelm, I think it's very interesting that Griffith is kind of colored with pink because that is, the backdrop of the destruction that he is causing. So I think that that's kind of interesting. They also make him look very ethereal. They make him a little bit see-through. They make him very mystical, very godlike, which he is. And then the Beast of Darkness being purple also, I think, just kind of plays into that theme. I don't think we're meant to take that literally as that's what it's colored. But you know what? I mean, hey man, it's at least it looks good. I think the artwork itself looks good. The bright color scheme, it is a little bit off-putting at first, but I don't mind it so much. People are saying the Berserker armor is blue. I don't think it's actually blue. Again, it's black. It's just because the lighting is the way that it is. It's a creative lighting kind of technique, that the artist did. It's not meant to be like a literal, like Griffith's hair is not literally pink. Griffith's Guts' armor is not literally blue. It's an artistic flair that they threw on the cover. So I'm not upset about it. I think the artwork itself looks good. And, it commemorates their very first volume of Berserk. So starting from volume 42 forward, this is the post Kentaro Miura era. So however you guys feel about that, you feel about that. Now, the other thing I want to mention is that this comes out on September 29th. And there's a couple of things that I did want to mention here. I pulled up the Berserk Wiki. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, yeah, so I pulled this up here. And I like that this is going to have potentially 9 chapters. I mean, maybe if we get the release of 374, at the end of September, I don't know if we will or not, but that would be interesting if they threw that in there and made it an even 10, because the Berserk volumes used to have 10 chapters apiece. But then they started to kind of slowly have less and less. And I think a lot of that is because of the hiatus that they would have and how long it would take for chapters to come out, and they just kind of want to get volumes out. But it is a little disappointing to have the last couple only have 7 chapters apiece. These only have 7 chapters. This has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, only 8 chapters. But we used to have 10 at a time. We used to have 10 chapters, 10 chapters, 10 chapters. Like, all of these volumes had 10 chapters apiece, which I think makes it feel a little bit more whole. It makes it feel full. Like, 10 chapters feels like a really good chunk to have for a volume. And so I've always preferred that. These ones are very, very thin. This one I give a pass, obviously, because it's the final, Kentaro Miura chapters. But I like them to have more chapters. So rather than getting volumes pushed out every year, I would be willing to wait, 2 years or however long it takes to have a more full, a more packed volume. So this is going to have 9, potentially 10. So I think that's really cool. The only last thing I want to mention is people have been talking about this, and I have not directly commented on it. I've talked about it in live streams, but I haven't really talked about it. That with the release of Volume 42 on September 29th, there's going to be an announcement alongside that. Now, I've lived through enough of these hyping up Berserk announcement moments to know to not get hyped, to not get your hopes up, to not reach for the stars, to not think that it's a new anime adaptation or something like that. Usually it's something small. Usually it's like, a statue or an art book or something. Like, it's nothing that's ever really significant. Now, I'm not saying this won't be significant. I'm just saying I've been through enough of these announcements coming soon moments to not get my hopes up for something significant. But if it is, hey, that's great, and I'll take it. But I would temper your expectations. If you see, hey, there's an announcement about Berserk on September 29th, and you're just getting like so pumped, and you're like, it's gonna be a new anime or something, just chill. Like, I'm just telling you, for your own peace of mind, for your own sanity, I'm just telling you to like temper it down to like a 4 out of 10, because it's probably not that. But whatever it is, if it is something really cool, something worthy of talking about, I'll definitely make a video on it. We will not know if a chapter is coming out the end of September also until they usually announce it about 2 weeks prior. So the magazine comes out bi-monthly. So we'll probably know around like September 13th, September 14th. So in like 10 days or so, we'll know if we're getting a chapter at the end of the month. So the only thing that we are getting is Volume 42, which is there, but coming out in Japan. So if you live in the West, you're going to have to wait. And an announcement that is just going to be an announcement that we don't know about yet. So I thought I would comment on that, keep you guys up to date, let you know what's going on in the Berserk world. And other than that, guys, let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about the cover down below, if you like it, if you don't like it. Everything is legitimate. No one's opinion is wrong. All right. It's just a cover. It's artwork. So whatever you guys want to say, don't jump on anybody in the comments. We can all have our opinions on it. And other than that, guys, I guess I'll just wait it out, and we'll talk about the new chapter when it drops, or if it's going to, I'll let you know. And besides that, that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Give it a like, give it a comment. I'll talk to you next time.